What's up guys, my name's Damian Keys. Welcome to the channel which is dedicated to you, the musician, and your music career. And we've got a big one today. I'm a little bit nervous, but after last week's videos where I declared it might be time for us musicians to stop selling music, and by that I meant in physical CDs and also on iTunes, and start to look to how we can monetize the music elsewhere. Part of that was I gave a few suggestions, which was subscription services, brand deals, and also merchandise. And a lot of people came back and said,
sell out! That is selling out to the man. That is not art. That is not about the creativity. That is about selling out.
So today I would like to challenge this. I would like us to discuss this in the comments below, because I feel like selling out is not a black and white issue. It is a sliding scale. And so for me, it comes with my integrity versus what I would like to achieve. And so therefore I am looking at the end goal, a means to an end. What am I prepared to do to get to that bit? And everybody is going to have that sliding scale, and everyone is going to have a different level of where they would or wouldn't sell out as such. So let me tell you a story. I was 18 years old. I was out of a record deal. I was panicking. I had one GCSE, which took me 2 years to get, but I knew one thing, and that was I wanted to be a musician first and foremost. I left my town, Swansea, in Wales, and I came to near London. And now, in order to do that, I didn't have rich parents. I didn't want to get a job. I wanted to play bass. That was what I loved. That was my passion. I wanted to be a bass player first and foremost and make a living at doing what I love. But the compromise was I couldn't just jump on a stadium tour. Didn't know how to do it. Probably wasn't good enough. So what did I do? I funded my entire way through college playing working men's clubs and playing weddings, but mostly back then it was working men's clubs, and I was playing I Will Survive, I was playing Walking on Sunshine, I was playing Groove is in the Heart, I was playing music that all of my friends were saying there is no way that I would do that. I am not standing on stage and playing Hot Stuff or YMCA. And I was thinking, yeah, but I'm not going to go and serve burgers in McDonald's. So that was my means to an end. And as it happens, it meant that I was getting better and better as a musician, even though that wasn't what I was thinking. I was just thinking I need to make a living as a bass player. That, for a lot of people, was selling out, as is YouTube covers or even covers in general. It's seen and perceived as selling out. Now, when it comes to how you monetize what you do, now we're talking about really selling out. Now we're talking about your artistic license and your creativity versus money. So the term sellout in the Urban Dictionary is someone who sacrifices artistic integrity for success and more popularity, especially financial gain. But we're living in a time now where the music industry has changed rapidly. So just come with me on a very quick journey. Back in the day, which was probably a Tuesday, back in say the 70s, 80s and 90s, the music industry was set up to make money off artists. Artists have been ripped off for decade after decade, and the industry was set up as a massive big bank loan. So you, the artist, would get signed to a major label. That major label would invest, say, £200,000 or dollars into your band, of which that would be used to make the record, to take the photos, to do the press, to do the PR, to do the manufacturing of the CDs, to ship the CDs, to do the distribution. All of these things would then go into the product, which is you. Now, you start selling your CDs, everything goes fantastically well, and it starts to make loads and loads of money. But the record label is charging you a crazy amount of interest for their part in it. So they are taking 80%, 85% of all of the money that's made. Plus, they also want to recoup all of their expenses that have gone out. There's a lot of expenses. So it comes to the second record, and you are now massively in debt. That's right, massively in debt for something that you have done to make money. The second record comes along, and you do all of the process again. Do you make money this time? No, it gets worse. You're actually now even more in debt going into the third record than you were for the first record. It's crazy. And it goes on and on until you finish your record deal and you have to go into another record deal where all of the same thing happens again. It's absolutely bonkers. And not only that, but you don't even get to keep the masters of the songs that you made. They're not yours. So you leave that record deal in debt. And who makes the money? the industry, the record label. Now, fast forward, and we are in control. We, the artists, can build our own audience and we can sell directly to the consumer. Whether we sell music or whether we don't, I personally believe that selling the music directly isn't the way forward, because the music audience isn't consuming via money, they're consuming via streaming. But that aside, you can sell directly. You can now make merch and sell it. You can make tickets and sell them to your gigs. You can now do brand deals. You can do deals around building the audience. But what that means is there is a price to pay, because as you are finding out, you are now in charge of the art, the creation, managing the band, the press, the PR, the distribution, the advertising. The list goes on and on and on, and it's relentless. The social media, the pushing, trying to actually gain momentum in what you are doing. And what does that take up? It takes up time, a lot of time. You need time to be able to do this, as well as expertise and potentially even more people. What does that take? It takes money. Now, this goes back to this idea of selling out. What are you trying to achieve, and what are you prepared to do to get to that end goal? And everyone's going to be different. And so if someone comes along and offers you money for you to do the thing that you want to do, but they're not wanting money back, but they are wanting some kind of brand influence, should you take that? If they're asking you to make a record and paying for it and actually telling you about the songs or the song titles which need to have something about Red Bull in, now they're interfering in the creative process and your artistic license. Again, this is not something I am telling you that you should or shouldn't do. This is a sliding scale, but I am telling you what's out there at the moment. If you look at YouTubers, it's a very different way of thinking, and because of that, the young people who are consuming YouTube on a general day-to-day basis are now in touch with this. A YouTuber will make YouTube content and at the end of it say, and now for the advert. There's nothing wrong with that. They're not selling out. They're saying, I get to make my art, but unfortunately the sacrifice is it has to be paid for by this thing over here. And it's up to them whether they take the deal or whether they don't take the deal. Now let's use my channel as an example. Now if a brand comes to me and says, hang on a minute, all your audience is musicians and we're trying to get in front of musicians and you're credible, so we'd like to give you money to advertise to your audience. A, do I believe in what they're selling? B, is it worth my while? And then I can look into it. But is it going to take me where I want to go? That to me is the key question. This is a means to an end. Am I just doing it for the money? Or is this something that I can bring the money in that allows me the time, the effort, more people, or even the advertising or the promotion to push this to make it bigger and bigger and bigger? What is it that I want? I want my channel to be massive. I want to be talking to musicians all day, every day, and I want 1 million musicians to come to me for help and advice. That's my plan for this channel. If someone is going to come in and facilitate what I am trying to achieve with that channel, will I take it? Yes. If someone's going to come in and actually do that, but start to actually tell me what I can and can't say, am I going to do that? No. So is it a case of selling out yes or selling out no? I don't think it is. I think we are now living in a world full of opportunity, and a lot of people are harping onto the good old days, and I'm thinking, mate, look at the good old days. They were shit. All of a sudden you are massively in debt to a record label that you can't get out of, and the only thing you've got is your fame. Your integrity is still taken away. Go and get signed to a massive major label and they still want say in your music. They still want say in the album cover. They still want to say that's what A&R was there for. So therefore, it's very difficult to keep that integrity even back then. Now we have control. You, the artist, has control, and you get to actually dictate what that means. Are you prepared to get help from a brand? Are you prepared to get help from the audience itself? Are you prepared to become a merchandiser as opposed to a musician first and foremost? That is up to you, but these options are now there for the taking. So here's what I want you to tell me. This is what I want to know from you guys. In 2019, how far is too far? What are you prepared to do to get where you want to be with regards to your music, your creativity, and your art compared to what you want to achieve with it? So let me know in the comments below, and if you can try and keep the insults to a minimum, that would help. But come and join me. I'm in the comments below. If you want to talk to me, that's where I'll be. Otherwise, thanks for watching. If you can do me a favor, like, subscribe, tell your friends about this channel, and I'll see you again tomorrow.